Hello, and welcome to our podcast today. My name is James. I'm delighted you can join us, where we're going to take you through some key questions to help you pass your upcoming ACCA examinations. I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Rizwan Maniya today. This guy has over 17 years of experience, a top tutor for PM, FM, APM. We're going to get through all of his insights today, and he is part of the Virtual Institute for Higher Education, VIFI, and a massive thank you to all the team in the background who have put on today's podcast. We're going to get right into it, but Rizwan, feel free to introduce yourself, the CEO, the principal, since 2017.
Yeah, thank you very much, James, for this introduction, this nice introduction. Yeah, this is Rizwan Maniya, and my passion is to teach. I'm teaching since last 17 years, and right now I'm teaching at an online platform that I'm also running as a CEO and the principal by the name of Virtual Institute for Higher Education, and we call this as WIFI. So thank you very much, James, for inviting me for this today's lovely podcast, and let's make it wonderful for the students so that they take benefit and do pass in the upcoming ACCA exams.
Fantastic. Well, let's get on to our first question. First key question: how to pass your ACCA exams from an expert top tutor. Mr. Rizwan, take us through all of your years of experience. What bits of advice would you give to a student if they're just starting, they're at the professional papers? What's that first key tip that's going to help a student to pass?
Great, thank you. And it's a very nice question, honestly. Actually, if you're starting your ACCA or you are in between your ACCA, one thing is very important that I've seen in these years is consistency. People do start their ACCAs, they are very passionate. The first day when they enroll in the courses, I used to remember when we used to take those physical classes, and people used to be very much passionate. Those days they used to start their ACCAs, and they were like, let's do it in 2 years, in 2.5 years or 3 years. And as they used to go on to the difficult modules, I would say. So starting from knowledge module, moving towards skills and professionals. And that is where if they start to fail, unfortunately, because it's a professional paper. So they just lose their interest. So what I feel, James, is that everybody should have this thing in their mind that consistency is important. These failures should not stop you at all. You will see some problems in your studies. You might not pass, but come on, it's a professional exam. So just be consistent. And if you are consistent, I'm very much sure that you'll be able to make up and you'll be able to do ACCA or any other qualification, right? So
Yeah.
first thing, the first message is consistency, which is really key for any student who is doing ACCA currently. Secondly, what I feel is that you have to learn from your mistakes, right? During this span, the time period where you are doing your ACCA, so the maximum learning you will have, the more beneficial it is. So as I always say, students, that please don't prejudge yourself. What I mean to say by prejudge yourself, like students do join the online classes, they take the sessions, and once they watch the conceptual videos, so they're like, come on, I'm now ready, right? I'm now ready and I can attempt the questions. That is a misconception, because these questions are the main thing or a main source of learning, I would say. Because, if you have a knowledge-based concept in your mind, until and unless you don't convert that into a practical application, right? So you'll not be confident about how the concept should be applied. So my point is that when you start doing the practicing work, that is where your actual learning starts. And that is where I've seen a lot of students start prejudging themselves that, wow, why I'm not able to solve the question? I've watched all the videos. That's a misconception, my friend. That is where you start application. You actually implement, apply the concepts, and that is where learning starts. So when you're doing the practice work, come on, don't be demotivated. I always say, James, this to students in these 17 years and at Wi-Fi, we are operating in 120 plus countries. There are students from 120 plus countries taking classes with Wi-Fi. And whenever we have these sessions, these orientation sessions and all, I always tell them one thing. See, when you are solving the questions, right? Whenever you do a mistake, just write it somewhere. I know it's a CBE paper now, so if you don't want to write it, just type it somewhere, right? And the maximum number of mistakes you will do, my friend, these are the maximum opportunities you got to learn, right? If you have done 500 mistakes, so don't be demotivated, don't be disappointed. Thank God that you got an opportunity to learn 500 times and take that as a motivation. And definitely, if you just write down the mistakes somewhere, you document that somewhere, and just recap where you went wrong. So I'm very much hopeful that in examination, you will not do mistakes that much. I'm not saying that you will not do mistakes, but yeah, the possibility of that will reduce. So second key message that I want to give is, while practicing, learn from your mistakes, note down the mistakes. The more the mistakes you do, the more opportunities you have to learn where you are actually going wrong. Third thing that I want to add here, which a lot of position holders have done in the past. So I can proudly say that around 73 nationwide position holders have been with Wi-Fi in these 5 to 6 years. For my own APM, I can say there are 25 position holders who have secured national position in APM for this only paper. So what I have seen that these students do, they definitely cover their syllabus completely. In ACCA, there is no shortcut. Please, there is no shortcut, right? So you should focus on your course completion. Complete the course. Once you are complete in terms of knowledge-based things, I hope people will understand what I'm saying, knowledge-based, like conceptually, you should be perfect. You should complete each and everything. And then it's all about the practice you do. So sometimes, yeah, they are working professionals, as we see, as we meet so many students who work and they study. They are short of time, I do agree. But at least, look, going through the requirements, just write few answers. If very short of time, just make the bullets. Your mind should work every time. You have to make sure that your mind is in practice before you go to the real examination, like a football match or a cricket match. In our part of the world, cricket is very famous, and I'm sure for you guys, football is very famous, right? So just look at those players, what they do. Do they do the rehearsals or not? Lot of rehearsals, lot of rehearsals. And when we say to students, do you want to solve mock? They're like, no, 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 no. We'll do it. We'll manage it. No, that's wrong. These mocks definitely prepare you, and these rehearsals are important. So I would say, yeah, the students should complete their syllabus, practice, and focus on mocks is really key if you want to ace paper quickly, fast, and complete your ACCA qualification. So if I just sum up the 4 points for the students and for the audience, is that you have to be consistent in your hard work. It's not that wake up at 5 a.m. first day, second day, and from third day, you're like, come on, let's sleep. No, consistency is important, okay? Number 2, you have to learn from your mistakes. The more mistakes you do, the more opportunities you have, right? Third is complete your syllabus knowledge-wise so that you don't skip or miss out anything. And fourth, practice with mocks are really crucial.
No, fantastic points there, Rizwan. And the students will be taking down notes. Have a good sip of your tea on there. Time management, mocks, not leaving the tuition to the last moment, getting advice from other people who've already done it who've been in that position that you're in. If you're working full time, like yourself, you've got practical experience working at the Big Four. These are challenges that students are facing all around the world, And you're not alone on it. So I hope
Yeah.
the advice and the tips that Rizwan has brilliantly put across there help out. And if you have any questions, you can always leave us a comment down below. Myself and the team for Vifi will more than happy get back to you on there if you want any other sort of follow-up advice, maybe about the CBE platform, technical articles, or more information that could help you out to pass your next exam on there. Shall we get on to question number 2, Rizwan? Is that cool with you, or any other
Yeah,
final
great, great.
points?
Yeah,
Okay,
done.
well,